Sports both leads this revolution and has a lot to do with this revolution, and in some ways, I guess that's on demand, but it's also really event-driven. When you say these things, though, I watch my own children. I watch kind of the people who aren't technologists adopt these technologies, and on demand, the ability to just stream that anywhere, anytime, regardless of which screen you're talking about, it is an early reality today. The only thing I would say is it's still a little challenging from just how do you make it work, because it's not as easy as it should be to say, hey, take this off my mobile phone, I'm now home and I've got a 60-inch flat panel, put that there now. But it's very clear that all these pieces are coming. But I do think that there are other pieces here. The DVR revolution, and you look at REO TV in the US, taking some of the basic channels and the basic capabilities of news, sports, weather, and making that all relatively on demand. I mean, people are time shifting if they aren't actually just directly demanding it, is very compelling. And certainly Netflix, House of Cards, how people look at what that's going to look like, just simply the amount of debate about how House of Cards is rolled out tells you that people are very focused on demand. So Vindicia offers Cashbox, which is a SaaS billing platform that does CRM, customer acquisition, and customer retention. And one of the things we're very, very good at is extending customer lifetime value. When we really think about what these services do, Netflix's price point here in the UK is $4.99. That's absolutely based upon a thought of 25, 30-month customer lifetime values. And so being able to extend those customer lifetimes in the 30th month to get 3 more months is dramatically important to the profitability of these kinds of service models. What we do is make that very easy for folks who are going over the top or are offering direct content. So we're in partnership with Ooyala, who then brings the video rails, if you will, and the analytics of how do people watch and what are they watching. We then manage the customer, his lifetime, and allow the marketing teams of these services to be much more creative with how they bundle and price. When you're talking about things that are seasonal, the NBA season, the NASCAR season, the Australian rugby season, mid-season, different price that people are willing to pay to sign up for the rest of that year. Being able to make that easy, to be able to make it something that you can take to different channel partners and offer different kind of pricing and packaging to the different people who help you acquire customers, that's really what we focus on. Well, the interesting thing is the television ecosystem is getting very complex quickly. It's not exactly clear who will end up being, if you will, the kind of primary partner that ends up delivering what we all want in our living rooms. In some cases, we're working with folks like Telstra, where they are both wireline, both IP and video, but they're also wireless, but at the same time they've bought sports rights and are looking at it and saying, I kind of don't care whether my customer comes to me through a paper bill because he's got a cable modem, or whether he comes to me from a semi-paper bill over his wireless phone, or he just puts in a credit card or debit card and actually migrates that way. Plus, Telstra is wise enough to understand that a lot of these relationships are actually going to morph very quickly, because as people kind of look at acquiring content very directly in a sense, moving away from getting their video over their cable modem and making it a direct relationship, but at the same time then billing that back, that's very interesting, and enabling that is kind of critical. But look, we see this, the sports leagues are going very direct. NFL, NBA, NASCAR, all customers who look at how exactly they go. And in fact, in the NBA's case, Europe's been a major component of what they're thinking about. Distribution here was very different for them, and there was a lot of detailed argument in the last strike, actually, about how Europe worked for the NBA. Surprisingly, the European market is extremely large for the NBA, and a lot of people wouldn't necessarily think basketball and Europe, right? So, at the same time, we certainly see the satellite providers and the cable companies in the United States and in Europe thinking about how they do their direct services and how you may not own a satellite dish from a satellite provider, yet still acquire all of that content, or at least large pieces of that content from them. And the actual television networks themselves are looking at this and saying, can I bundle up what was my cable subscription channel into an online service that's available, sometimes even in partnership with their old cable companies. You see in the kind of Ooyala and video rails world, both MLB, which most people wouldn't think, baseball, why is this relevant to everything else? Well, a lot of the actual over-the-top television infrastructure runs through the MLB offices in Manhattan. So, you think you're watching some sort of talk television, and in fact it's being run by MLB. The platform at Comcast, a very similar situation in the States, where they're looking at helping PBS, so, our BBC, think about how they do subscription. And at the end of the day, all of these customers are looking at, okay, so how do we actually get paid outside of the advertising model? I think we all understand what some of the challenges are with the advertising model as far as kind of continuing to decrease in CPM cost. Someday I think that changes, but the thing we know that works is the LoveFilm, Netflix, Amazon Prime models, which allow you to actually go out and create real value against high value content.